Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another WM32 football podcast episode. We are still going, we are still rolling these out, and I hope you are enjoying them all as much as myself and the big man over there, Nelson, are at the moment. And we hope that we are shedding some light on what is a difficult time and a difficult situation for everybody. Now, today's episode is going to be something completely different. Me and Nelson, we're going to have a little bit of fun today. So today's episode is going to be footballing impressions. So how it will work is Nelson will be the reporter almost, if you like. So Nelson's going to be the one asking the questions. I will be the one doing the impressions. We've got 6 to go through today. So Nelson, take it away. What have we got?
Thank you, Wes. I hope everybody enjoys this at home, like Wes said as well. We hope that we shed some light on a really difficult time. So to begin our impressions, footballing impressions, 6 aside, I'd like to talk first to Daniel Farke. Daniel Farke, if you're there, if you can hear me, Norwich have been flying this season, on course to be promoted again to the Premier League. How have you found this season for you, especially after being relegated the season before?
Well, yes, of course, it is always difficult to, bounce back from a difficult season last season and, being relegated from the Premier League. It was very, very difficult. And, we lost some incredible players like Godfrey and Jamal Lewis at the left back. But no, I am very, very happy with the team and the performances and the way we are playing. I think people saw the way we played in the Premier League and we had a lot of plaudits because of this. And, to take it again in the Championship, it is, a very, very difficult and a tough league. But we are doing so well and yeah, fingers crossed we can get back to the Premier League because that is where we want to be.
Thank you, Daniel. Any particular players that have stood out for your side this season? Any players that that you've enjoyed coaching at your time at Norwich, especially this season, that have really stood out?
Yeah, yes, of course. There's many good players that we have had in our system and in our team. But certainly this year, Oliver Skip on loan from Tottenham, he has been fantastic. He trains so well and he plays like he's an experienced player. But he's only 20 years of age, and we have to remember this. But the way he's playing, it's like he's been here for years. And yeah, I've just been really, really impressed with him. He always is there in the training, never misses a game, is always there, like I say, in the training, and he's just been fantastic, to work with this year, and we hope that that Tottenham can let him keep us, but we know it may cost a lot of money to keep him. So maybe, fingers crossed we can get another loan, even if we are in the Premier League. So yeah, Oliver Skip certainly this year has been fantastic for us, and I think all the Tottenham fans, they vote on man of the match every week. It seems because it seems to be him every week, and I don't know why. Like I say, it must be the Tottenham fans. They vote on our Twitter, and yeah, no. But other than that, he's been fantastic for sure.
And Daniel, see, I've never ever been to Norwich, and I'm an aspiring traveller myself. Would you? I guess I'm kind of asking from a personal point of view. Any chance you could show me a good time in Norwich? Show me what's great about Norwich. Like anything, like what can I look forward to? If I approach.
Well, Nelson, there are many things to enjoy with Norwich. It is a wonderful city with wonderful people. The shopping is questionable maybe at times, but, you have everything. You have the big supermarkets that have, for your food, and yeah, the nightlife as well. My goodness, I've had so many good nights in the city of Norwich with the great people, obviously, especially when we got promoted to the Premier League the last time. So hopefully when this awful situation with COVID is over, we will have many good nights, once again. And yeah, I cannot wait really, to welcome all of our fans as well back to Carrow Road, and have them singing and bouncing again. Everybody within the football club, we miss that feeling and that atmosphere when a match day comes. So yeah, fingers crossed we will have that back very, very soon.
Well, thank you, Daniel, for your time. I really enjoyed that last question, that answer. All the best of luck with you and Norwich heading, continuing the rest of the season. Thank you for your time.
Cheers. Thank you very much, Nelson. Thank you.
Okay, now we will be reporting with Wayne Rooney. Let us take our attentions over to Wayne Rooney. So Wayne, first stint, obviously you being Derby manager, after playing also as well as managing Derby at the same time. You've now made the commitment to go into full-time management with Derby. How have you found management so far?
Basically, Nelson, I found it, really, really tough. Obviously I was playing and that, and I thought I was playing really, really well, even at my old age of 35. But yeah, certainly, management, it's completely different, really. I've had to think a lot, and that's something that I never used to do. So yeah, it's been tough. Yeah.
And the fans, I know you've had a lot of history with fans, especially England fans. We'll never forget the infamous incident where you said that all the fans are booing and that kind of stuff. Is it fair to say that you don't miss the fans right now with games being played behind closed doors?
Well, I miss Liverpool fans, because I used to score against them a lot, especially when I was at Man United. But the Derby fans, to be fair to them, since I've come in the door, have been boring, really. Don't really sing much, and I'm not really used to that. Obviously, it's even when I was in America, the fans still sung. So it's been a bit different, really. But now, obviously, as you mentioned, there are no fans. We haven't really missed them that much because they don't really do a lot when they're there anyway.
And a good friend of mine, Wesley, who's currently not here right now to be reporting with us, he's a Tottenham fan, and as we know, you in your playing days are England's top scorer, still currently to this day. But there's a certain Tottenham player in the name of Harry Kane who is on course to potentially break that England record. What are your thoughts on Harry Kane? And if he does break the record, how would you feel? Is that something that you pride yourself in, or would you be happy for Harry?
Yeah, I think I'd be happy for Harry. It's. I mean, I'm very, very proud to have that England record. But if it's beaten by somebody who speaks worse than me, then I'm all for that, really. So yeah. I mean, Harry's a fantastic player as well, but great striker over the years, and I'm sure he's going to get close, certainly to beating that record.
And last question, Wayne, before I take up too much of your time, where is the best place for me to get a hair transplant? My hair is dying; it's not growing anytime soon. You made a miraculous comeback, probably bigger than Barcelona's remontada, against PSG. Where can I go to, if I ever lose my hair? Tell me.
Well, sorry, Nelson, I don't really know, because I don't know if you saw, but obviously, I did have my hair done, but not long after that, it went back to how it was before. So I probably wouldn't recommend the person that done mine. I'm still on the lookout for them actually, because they done such a bad job. So unfortunately, I can't really answer that one, I'm afraid.
No problem, Wayne. I really appreciate the time that you spent with us. Thank you for joining us. I'll let you go and enjoy the rest of your time. Thank you very much.
Cheers, Nelson. Thanks for that.
So that was Wayne Rooney, everybody. We've had Wayne Rooney and Daniel Farker in this Six-a-Side Impressions episode. But I'd like to turn our attentions now to a manager who, in his playing days, was one of the best midfielders of his generation for England. And he's gone and taken his managerial experiences up north to Scotland. And we know recently that Glasgow Rangers have become champions of the Scottish Premier League. It's been a very long wait for them. So we're here with Steven Gerrard today. Stevie, how are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, Nelson. How are you? Are you okay?
Yes, I am very well. I'd like to first ask you, congratulations on winning the league. How have you found, your role, your managerial career at Rangers? How have you found it? And how does it feel now that all of your hard work with your team has got to where you got to the pinnacle of Scottish football?
Yeah, of course, it feels very, very good to finally be a league champion. I would have done it at Liverpool had, a certain pass, been a bit stronger. Everybody's talking about my slip, but the state of that pass was a joke. But yeah, of course, this last year is presented us with a lot of challenges. We've still got some of the old players from the previous manager that unfortunately nobody's had to buy because they're rubbish basically. But yeah, it's good now to finally be classed as a league champion, because at the end of the day we're all in sport to win trophies, and that's a big monkey off my back for sure.
And being part of the Rangers culture, their philosophy at the club, I'm sure you've come to enjoy the many Glasgow derbies that has definitely ranked up there with one of the best in the world. In your experience, if you were a player still playing today, would you want to still be part of the Merseyside derby, or would you want to join and be a part of that Glasgow derby? Get a piece of Scott Brown.
Yeah, well, the thing is, Scott Brown will have to get out my pocket first. I've seen his legs this season. He's losing it a little bit, shall we say. But, looking at it, I played in many Merseyside derbies and whatnot, but I think, there is that sense of wanting to play in a Glasgow or an Old Firm derby, really. But yeah, as I say, I think I could still do a job now, to be honest, having seen the state of the league. So I might have to get my boots out for Sunday, because, we've got Celtic and, they're going to give us a guard of honour, which is going to be fantastic, given the amount of times I've had to do it to them. So yeah, I'm looking forward. Me and Gary Mack, we've decided that we're going to give the likes of Joe Aribo, Scott Arfield, and that a rest, and we're going to get our boots out, because the league has been that easy this year that we feel we can play in it.
Great. And Alfredo Morelos, I believe I've said that correctly, one of your one of the best strikers I've seen play for Rangers in a while. He's put up some very good numbers, performed well in Europe as well as the league. Has Alfredo introduced you to the kind of food that he eats back in his hometown, and has it been too spicy? That kind of food been too spicy for you, or do you prefer? I guess what I'm saying is, how do you like your spice? Because we're known, he's known for having a lot of spice in his food. So how have you found it?
I've not really spoken to Alfredo much since winning the league. I think he's probably still partying, to be honest. I think he's still singing "Sweet Caroline" in the changing room at Livingston. To be fair, but yeah, of course, I think Alfredo's brought in his food, and yeah, it is a bit spicy for me. I like it. I like it a bit milder. Even if I was to have an Indian, I'd probably go for a korma. Something basic, but it does the job. You know what I mean? Now something simple and it does the job. So yeah, it has blown my head off a few times. I won't lie to you. The state of Alfredo's food, but listen, he can eat whatever he wants if he's going to perform for me on a Saturday.
Brilliant, Stevie. Well, enjoy the food, enjoy the celebrations. Again, congratulations on your title. I know Liverpool won it for you, but not as a player, obviously as a fan last year. But like you said, that pass was probably, like you said, what was it? Was it a joke you said?
Yeah, it was a joke, wasn't it? Yeah, if anybody watches it. But yeah, I've got to go because I've got another belly slide in the Rangers changing room to perform. Obviously everybody's seen me last one, and the fans want a little bit more. So yeah, I better get off because I've got to give the fans what they want at the end of the day.
No problem, Steve. I wouldn't take much of your time. Thank you again, and enjoy your celebrations.
Cheers, Nels. Cheers, Nels.
That was Steven Gerrard, everybody. As you can see, was very excited, was very happy with Rangers winning the league, and was actually surprised that he was open to trying out some new food from his star striker Morelos. So we'll move forward to somebody now who is known for his, being a hard man from the Republic of Ireland. He's had a stint. He's now become a pundit at Sky Sports, and everybody knows his dynamic with a recent pundit in Micah Richards has been a joy to watch this season for Sky Sports. So I'd like to introduce everybody to Roy Keane. Roy, how are you doing today?
Well, Nelson, I'm not too bad, to be fair, but yeah, how are you?
Yes, I'm very good. I'm very good. I'd like to get straight into it and actually ask you about your dynamic with Micah Richards. You've worked with the likes of Andy Cole, Dwight Yorke, those kind of people at Man United. Is it safe to say that Micah is the funniest person that you've been around?
Well, when we talk about Micah, he's a good guy, brings good energy to the Sky, to the punditry scene. But in terms of funniness, no, I think he's up there, but I don't really, I'm not one for being funny. I think if people wanted a comedian, they perhaps wouldn't want me. I'm probably a bit more serious. I take my job very seriously, and I just want the best all the time. I want the best for not only for Man United. Obviously, everybody knows that I used to play for them, but I just want the best in anything in life, and that's the key. I think, if you don't want to be the best in anything that you do, why are you doing it? So yeah, but I'm not one for being for funny or laughing a lot. Obviously Micah has his moments, don't get me wrong, but certainly I'm there to be serious, and there's a job to be done there at Sky, so we have to ensure that job gets done properly.
And Roy, I think one of the things that fans really love about you is the fact that you're just die hard honest. You don't sugarcoat anything. But one of the things that took me by surprise, which I thoroughly was pleasantly surprised to see, was I think about 2 weeks ago, you decided it was a change. You needed to change up your brands. Nothing that, that you don't really, back in the day in your playing days, that wasn't really a major thing, when you were a player. But you decided to take your talents to Instagram. So tell me about that. You recently joined Instagram. I think you've accumulated more than 500,000 followers already. How's that been for you, getting used to the web? Are you trying to follow in the footsteps of Paul Pogba?
Pogba, jeez. If I get anywhere near him on Instagram, then we'd be laughing. But it just gives me another platform, obviously to be harsh on Man United players. I seen some of the stuff that Micah has been doing on there, and wanted to give it a little try. Obviously recently posted a few pictures, not quite worked out the videos,
yet, but I'm sure, you know, my kids will help me out with that, because if not, they'll be in trouble. But yeah, I'm getting used to these things, you know. When I was playing, I was focused on, you know, the best for me and for Man United, especially at the time. But yeah, it's just something, a little something to maybe get me through the day.
And Roy, your club, United, that you've played so hard for many years, brought so much passion to the club. We've obviously got Ollie here, who will be joining us very soon. But what sort of advice would you give to your mate who you obviously played with? Any more advice that you'd give? Because I think you mentioned earlier that the players could potentially cost him his job, and you know that he's a very nice lad. But anything more that Ollie needs to do, or what would you do in his shoes?
Well, I think you got to look at this United team. You know, no leaders, no courage in there. You know, you've got to get players in this are going to do the job for you. You know, if we look at Maguire, I think everybody knows what I think of him, and De Gea as well. You know, but De Gea is 31 now, so you know, might have to move him on and get this young lad Henderson playing, because he looks a good player. But no, I think Ollie's on the right track. You know, the finishing, by the looks of it, second. You know, he's going in a good way, bringing through the young players. So yeah, perhaps just keep going. But I think the key is time, Nelson. You know, I think the key is time. You know, managers these days, you know, we've seen it with Frank. You know, didn't get much time. He spent all that money on rubbish, has to be said. You know, Werner, my goodness. You bring him in and Giroud's still your best striker. That's saying something, really. But no, I think going back to Ollie, I think he's on the right track and the right path, but he just needs time. And that's the key. Bit of patience. I think the fans, you know, they're getting there with him now. They're seeing that little bit of progress. Certainly, you know, in terms of progress, you know, United doing all right. But getting them back in that Champions League again for next season, it will be a good step for Ollie. I think maybe looking at a striker, is Haaland the answer? I don't know. But no, I think in terms of Ollie, he's doing all right. And I said, you know, to Carragher that he needed a bit more time, and he's been afforded that. And you know, I said give him another year. He's been given that extra year, and you know, he's doing all right. He's doing all right, I'd say.
Nice one, Roy. Quick final question that's just popped into mind is, you, before your study went into your punditry, I remember very vividly that you actually went to UCFB to do a talk not too long ago, and it was at the Etihad Stadium. I'm sure that would have been hurtful for your eyes to have entered the stadium to have done a presentation. I remember you met my good friend Wes at the time, and you took a selfie with him. What was that conversation like with an aspiring coach like Wes himself, who I know is very passionate to try and, you know, get more coaching badges, to get more experience? How was that UCFB experience, and what was said between yourself and Wes?
Yeah, I remember your man there. Did that conversation, by the way, a bit awkward. You know, he's tried to play cool. You know, he's tried to have a little bit of chit chat, and I sensed that he wanted a picture. And then eventually, you know, time's ticking, and I'm thinking he's going to ask in a minute. He's got to. I'm Roy Keane. And you know, when he did ask, you know, I even said to him at the time, like, I knew it was coming. But yeah, I mean, you know, it's always good to speak to young people, find out a little bit about them, you know, what they like, you know, what they want to do, you know, moving forwards. But yeah, I remember your man there very much. So yeah, it was an awkward, like I say, an awkward conversation. But yeah, I mean, he got his picture. I seen the picture, and I'm a bit embarrassed for him, really, with the caption that he put. You know, there's only one Roy in that picture. I don't know why he's put a couple. You know, it's just embarrassing, really. You know, if I wouldn't have let him get home had I seen that caption on that picture. So yeah, embarrassing for him, really.
Well, I'm not sure he knows that yet, so I'll keep that between myself and you, Roy. But it's been a pleasure being able to speak to you today. Enjoy the rest of the season, with Micah. Tell him that, I said hello. And yeah, we'll hope to speak to you soon.
Yeah, catch you later. Catch you later.
So we did mention that Ollie was going to join us as we spoke to Roy. So we are going to now be talking to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who is the fifth person as part of this Six-a-Side Footballing Impressions episode. Ollie, how are you doing today?
Yep, I'm not too bad, thank you, Nelson. Just coming from training. The boys are looking good and are looking sharp. Obviously, we've got a big game on Thursday away to Milan. So yeah, just prepping the boys for that. Really, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. I just wanted to get your kind of opinion on young players. Because when we spoke to Roy earlier, Roy mentioned the fact that you've brought in a lot of young players, which is something that has really, been at the forefront of United's culture, bringing through young players, making sure that they get the opportunity to play. And one of the players that you brought in was Mason Greenwood, who had a flying time last season when Project Restart happened. What's been your thoughts on Mason, and how is his development at United coming?
Well, you talk about young players at Man United, and yeah, obviously Mason, he springs to mind. Fabulous young player. Got a bright future, ahead of him, and yeah, he has impressed. He's impressed all of us with his shooting, his natural ability in front of goal. So yeah, no, we're really happy with the progress of Mason, but not just Mason. We got also Marcus and Shola, Shoretire. Obviously, he's come through, and we hope that Man United can bring through more young players. It's a club that's always done that, and yep, it's one that we're looking to continue and carry on.
Now, this season, as well as last season, United, I think in the Premier League, have been awarded the most penalties, especially since Project Restart. Anything secretly going on that you want to tell us between you and the refs, or is that you think it's the right call that the refs have made for all the penalties that you've scored for?
Yes, so yeah, we've managed to come up with a little something, a little game plan. And what we get to do is, or what we try and do is, we get Bruno, in and around the box, and he usually takes a slightly heavy touch, feels a little bit of contact maybe, and then he goes down, and obviously we get a penalty. And then with Bruno, as you all know, he's fantastic at slotting them away. So yeah, any little chance or any little thing that we get, even if it is Bruno or maybe one of the other attackers, in, like I say, in and around the box, a little bit of contact, and yeah, they go down. I've spoke to Sir Alex. He's been in the VAR hub for most games, tipping off the referees, and
oh wow,
yeah, that's how it works, really.
Great. I mean, I appreciate your honesty and your transparency with us. One final thing that I wanted to get your thoughts on is the man that was signed for £89 million, your biggest signing here, Paul Pogba. Roy didn't want to get too much into Paul. Like his words were G's. So that's all I'll leave it on regarding Roy. But Ollie, Paul, I know you've mentioned a few times you see him as a key figure as part of this club. I guess my question to ask you regarding Paul is those dance moves that he has. I'm a good fellow dancer myself. I enjoy having a good time. Anything new that he's taught you? Anything that you've taken him aside to kind of learn maybe a few dance moves?
Well, Nelson, it's obviously been a bit difficult learning some dance moves with Paul because he's injured at the moment, but we hope to get him back soon. Obviously, it's been his birthday,
recently. So yep, I've managed to get myself a new handshake. Obviously, his handshake partner Jesse. We let him go to West Ham on loan, as everybody knows. So, yep, I've managed to get myself a new handshake with Paul, and yeah, hopefully, when he's back fit and firing again, you might see that at the end of some games. Obviously, it's for when we win, and not for when we lose. So yeah, got a new handshake with Paul, and yeah, that's about it really. I'm not much of a dancer myself.
Brilliant, Ollie. Well, I really look forward to see that handshake at some point soon. I know I'm a big fan of handshakes myself, and my man Wes, we've got a handshake going. So all the best for the rest of this season. I'll be honest, I do hope you get knocked out by Milan, but you know your side pretty well. So all the best for that tie.
Cheers, Nelson. Thank you.
No problem. So that was Ollie that joined us. For those of you keeping up with us in this news report for the Footballing Impressions, we have one more person to interview today, and that is a man who has had, who is seen as a legend in the managerial game. Harry Redknapp is here with us today. Now, I'm sure Wes would have been happy to see this because he is a Tottenham fan himself. Harry, how are you doing today?
Yeah, not too bad, thanks, Nils. How are you, son? You all right?
Yeah, not too bad. I saw you recently in a foot asylum Christmas ads, and that was something that took me by surprise. And I think your wife Sandra was in it as well. So how did that collab come about?
Well, Nelson, obviously with my my stint in the jungle, obviously that was fantastic. I thoroughly enjoyed that. But yeah, I'm king of the jungle, so they just got in contact, bro. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, and then I had to say to Son, look, Son, this is happening. I spoke with James, about it as well, and yeah, really, he got it. He kind of made it all happen, really. Obviously the grandkids love a bit of that stuff, so yeah, I kind of did it for them, really, as well.
No problem. And you've also got the fact that Jamie, who's a pundit at Sky, former Tottenham player himself. What do you think about your son's contribution to Sky? Anything he could do better? Do you think he could stand up for Tottenham a bit more? Go. I'll let you have the floor of this one.
Well, Nels, it's difficult for him, innit, really. Obviously, when he went there as a player, it didn't quite work out. He was always injured. I remember him being out for 6 weeks once because he bruised his toe. So that kind of says it all, really. But yeah, no, going back to James and his work with Sky, I think he might be still a bit, a little bit unhappy with the way that my time at Tottenham ended. So yeah, it's it's not fair. It's a bit difficult for him. But he tries his best, and that's all I've ever said to him, really. James, you go out there and you do your best. Whether that was football or anything away from the game, but it's good that he's still involved, I suppose, because gets him out and about in a difficult time, obviously with COVID and that.
And I know one of the things I fully enjoy you as a manager. I think your character, your personality is second to none. And there was a point where you could have potentially become the England manager. We currently have Gareth in charge. What's your view of this current England side? And we all hope that Gareth does the best. He took us to the semis for at the World Cup. But let's just say there's a scenario that happens where he's no longer in charge. Do you still see yourself coming back and repping the three lions?
Nah, Nils, I think my time's gone, unfortunately. The knee's not what it once was. And it's down to these younger younger coaches now. We've got quite a few, coming through. Obviously, Scott Parker doing a fantastic job at Fulham. Gerard up at Rangers, again, fantastic job he's doing now. Frank, who I think will become a top manager. I said he'd become a top player, so I believe he'll do the same as a manager, really. But yeah, no, as for me with England, I think my time is done. But there's no bitterness, Nils. It was what it was at that time. I think the media hyped it up a little bit. And they got it going, but yeah, obviously I didn't get it. They went with Roy, and it was what it was. But yeah, in terms of my time with the Three Lions in England, yeah, I think that's long gone. I'm on the way down, and I don't really fancy international, that flying as well. Do my nothing.
Yeah, I completely understand that, Harry. I wanted to ask you one last question. About your, I consider him your son. Now, he's obviously not your biological son, but Nico Crenshaw is somebody that, that has followed you around pretty much, your managerial career. You still in contact with Nico? You still speak to him today? How's he doing? Do you still think he could make it in this current Tottenham side, that are currently playing under Jose Mourinho?
Well, Nico, yeah, I still speak to him. I think we got a little group chat, me, him, Jermaine Defoe, Crouchy. There's a few boys in there. So yeah, we all keep in contact. Obviously, if anybody saw online the picture that I put up of us lot in them tight jeans, I don't know where they thought I'd be wearing them tight jeans, by the way. But yeah, no, we all speak. Yeah, I think Nico might be a little bit too old now to get in this Tottenham side, but they've still got some fantastic players, haven't they? Spurs, you've got Harry Kane, Son on one side, Gareth Bale, the pace and the power he possesses. We just haven't really seen too much of it yet. But no, Spurs have still got some fantastic players. So I think it'll be tough for Nico or any of the boys, really, to get in there. But no, certainly, I my time I've loved all the clubs I've been at, really. Obviously, most people remember me for Tottenham, but even when I was at West Ham and Bournemouth and Portsmouth, and I enjoyed my time at all of them clubs. Even QPR, when I had a half fit Adel Taarabt, was still enjoyable.
Brilliant, Harry. I appreciate that. Thank you for your time. I know I didn't expect to hear, the WhatsApp group chat that you had with the likes of Crouchy and Defoe still there.
Yeah, well,
so I'm glad that
Sandra's still admin, so she's got to be in there because I can't always be on there.
Brilliant.
So yeah, I think I have to have somebody in there because I struggle to read and write, as I said, in that courtroom. So I've got to keep that going. So yeah, that's that, really.
No problem, Harry. Well, thank you for your time. It's been a pleasure speaking to you. Again, like you said, you can, just roam around and proclaim that you are the king of the jungle. So I'll let you enjoy the time. Thank you for your time, Harry.
Yeah, no worries, Nils. Take care of yourself, pal.
No worries. Just before we finish this report, guys, there's one more person that, breaking news, there is just one more person that would like to get a word in. We've mentioned our six-a-side, but he is the manager that's going to be leading this six-a-side, and that is good old Jose Mourinho. Now, quickly, Jose, I know you don't have too much time. I don't want to take up too much of your time, but what do you think about the side, your six-a-side team? The likes of Daniel, Stevie G, Wayne Rooney, Roy Keane, we've got Ole Gunnar Solskjaer here, and Harry Redknapp himself. Are you happy with this six-a-side?
Are you live?
Yes,
Hey,
I am.
Hey. The team is a good team. Some very, very, very good players in there. Gerrard, I tried to sign him at Chelsea, and we tried a lot, but we did not get. We tried, but we did not get. Rooney, again, wonderful player. One I tried to sign, but again, we did not get. I feel like Wenger. We tried to sign all these players, but we did not get them. So yeah, no, I like the team. Good balance in the attack and in the defense as well. So yeah, let's go. Let's bring it on.
Well, I appreciate that. Best of luck with this side. I know we didn't have too much of your time, but I just wanted to quickly get your thoughts on that. And can you remind everybody, how many Premier League titles have you won?
Three for me. 3. Respect, man. Respect.
No problem. We'll make sure that people still put respect in your name. That was Jose Mourinho, everybody. We just had them last minute, so we do appreciate his time here. So I hope you enjoyed that. That was our news report on all the footballing impressions for our six-a-side, as well as Jose Mourinho leading that squad out. So I hope you enjoyed it and enjoyed Wes putting on these impressions for you. So I'll give the floor back to Wes, who has now come back to reality and joined us
Right, out of character, but out of time as well, unfortunately. So, guys, that is it for us for today. I hope you enjoyed them. I know I certainly did, playing different characters. Hope that all the impressions were okay for you guys. I think maybe some of them potentially might be a bit rusty. I haven't pulled them out for a while, but I tried my best for you guys today. That just leaves me to thank Nelson for hosting and asking all the questions today, even if he did try and dig me out a few times with a few of them. So this will go out on our YouTube channel. So please make sure you like this particular video, comment on any of the impressions that were done. And any more that you potentially might want us to do, and any future topics you would like us to cover as well. Like we said before, we are trying to keep you guys going throughout lockdown and stuff like that. Fingers crossed that there is some light at the end of the tunnel now and whatnot. So yeah, please comment different things. Like I say, your thoughts on the impressions, comment on the video if you liked it or not, and any future topics you would like us to cover as well. So yeah, make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the channel as well. We are so close to 100 subscribers, and it would be a fantastic milestone for us if we could hit that. And Nelson was flashing his WM32 football hoodie because our online shop is also live. So make sure you guys get your very own WM32 football merchandise. For any young footballers that might be watching, it will be a perfect present for you for when your sessions are coming back and returning as of March the 29th by government guidelines, of course. So head over to our website, www.wm32football.com/shop for any merchandise on there as well. We are also taking bookings for individual sessions and our mini kicker sessions that take place in the Milton Keynes area. So again, please head over to the website www.wm32football.com if you would like to book a place or reserve a session with us. So Nelson, that is it. Thank you ever so much for your time today.
Thank you very much for that. Well done for these impressions. I thoroughly enjoyed them.
Not a problem. Take care, everybody. See you soon and stay safe.
Bye-bye.